Hello everybody, and welcome to another Minecraft video. Today we are back on, back? This is the first time we've done this. Below. So today I've made a new thing. Over here we have a wonderful new reactor plant. So let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. Look at this place. Look at all these wonderful big machines. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. So, this is an RBMK reactor, and basically what that means is that it's a little complicated. I mean, I guess maybe I don't know. Hold on, let's go over to here where I have set up the reactor. As you can see, this is the smallest reactor I've ever made. It has no control rods, no safety features. It has no coverings on it, so it will leak radiation everywhere. And today, I'm showing off a bit of a weird reactor because not only does it generate power by steam, but it actually uses ambient radiation generators, which, you know, generate power from radiation. And because this isn't covered and doesn't have any control rods, this will leak radiation everywhere. Control rods really are only for turning it on and off anyway. But this is a stable design as far as I'm aware. So I need to go ahead and gear this up, and I have a few more things to do as I prepare to, you know, run this reactor for the first time. So let's go ahead and do those things. Okay, let's go ahead and, I could fly, but I want to use the cool ladder. I really just want to use the cool ladder so we can get on the top. Okay. So as you can see, I have a few small cooling towers. This thing didn't need any big ones. It only needs about 3 of these smaller ones anyway. So, or actually it could use one. If I'm being honest, I could use one and just run it on one, but I decided not to. And over here we have another cool little thing, a hatch. Look at that. Look at that. I never thought I would see a circle in Minecraft, but today I have, and it's not really cursed. I don't know. It just feels like it's normal for some reason. Okay, so I think the reactor is ready to go. I do have one more thing to show off, and that is the actual tanks. They are compact, very compact. So I actually put the tanks down underneath. Now, why isn't this? This should be set to extraction mode. Yeah, because if that wasn't set to extraction mode, then the whole thing's going to be draining out fluid and then not putting any back in. So that was going to be bad. Good thing I checked these. I'll do one last check and see if this one is doing fine. Yeah, that's just importing anyway. Okay, so now, time to get to these. These are actually induction cells, and induction cells, they store a ton of energy. They don't come with the mod either. They come with mechanism. So, fun. Goodness. Okay, time to begin by throwing in a fuel rod. So the way this works is you have your fuel rod RBMK cell thing. You have the structural column, which, you know, that transfers heat. I could have done a graphite moderator or like neutron reflectors or fanciness and things. I don't need that. You just need the simplest thing possible. It's the most stable design. Is always the simplest, of course. Let me go ahead and close that hatch. It's kind of bothering me. All the light. Let me go ahead and... Hey. I just really wanted to do that. Okay. You may notice I have water around, and I haven't actually finished the floor yet. I forgot to do that. It's still grass. I think that is safe. Yeah, it should. None of the pipes should have gotten destroyed. So this design is prone to melting down if you use the wrong type of fuel, but I think the type of fuel I was using earlier was these LEAs. Also, is this thing ready? It's all set to go. All checked. Okay, ready to run. As you can see, it's going to build up some xenon gas. If that builds up all the way, that's bad. It's generating the heat, though, so once it hits about 300, it will stop. So we'll give it a second. It doesn't seem to be stopping. Heat is going up, but we're done. We're done with the run. So the way I turn it off is by doing that. Now let's go ahead and check and see if any of the pipes are actually moving things. Nothing there. Oh, it might not actually have moved any of the fluid. Let me go ahead and check the piping again. So it should be... It has no steam in there. We were using the wrong fuel type, I think. Fuel... let's go ahead and check. ignite. So you need a fuel rod that will self-ignite for this design, which is the only issue. So we're gonna go ahead and use MEP-239, I think is a safe bet. As you can see, it should stay pretty low. It should also generate like 300, is what I think. Is it generating steam? How much temperature does it need to generate steam? It's producing some heat. Yeah, it's at 600. So now it's got 10 ultra dense steam. Ultra dense steam is coming out of the reactor, which we need to be careful because this could melt down. It is generating lots of heat and going up. We could install a coolant cell, I think. We could do that. I just wanted to show this off today. And I was gonna go do something else, but you know, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I have to show this off. This is amazing. So it is at currently 2,583 degrees. So if it hits around, we're just gonna wait for it to stabilize. So it's at 852. Is the temperature of the actual thing increasing still? Appears to be stabilized at 604. Ultra dense steam, it's outputting ultra dense steam. So if we hear a big explosion, that's fine. Because I can just fix it up real quick. It isn't too expensive to do anyway. So yeah, look at this. We got steam going to each of the turbines, and it's decreasing in increments. If we come out this door, there is actually steam going into there. Now, I do have all of the energy being converted into mechanism power, and I honestly don't know what I would do. Oh, look at this. Steam. Yes. This is literally the coolest thing I've ever done. I think. Maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think is the coolest thing? Let me know down below. If you guys are like, you know, if you've been watching for a while, you know, what is the coolest thing? I have no clue. I'm gonna go ahead and add a ladder top. Can I? Yes! Yes! Oh, it's so unnecessary though. Okay. Is the temperature still doing good? Is it 650 still? 604. So now, we're gonna have a bit of fun. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna go ahead and hook up some Tesla coils or something. So let's go on out here and hook those up. Alright, so I have IC2 installed, and IC2 adds a wonderful item called the Tesla emitter. So let's go ahead and Tesla, no, that's not it. I'm looking for, yes, the Tesla coil. So Tesla coil, and then we're gonna need some universal cable. We're just gonna have some fun with energy. So, ultimate universal cable, boom. So then we're gonna hook up some Tesla coils, hook that into it, and as you can see, let's go ahead and, what should we spawn in? What should we spawn in? We could test it on villagers, or like, actually no, let's go ahead and test it on some zombies, or like, let's go ahead and, difficulty normal, because I didn't want to have mobs spawning inside the building, honestly. This is so cool. Oh, and by the way, our actual power input right now for each of these is like a few MRF per tick, which is really good. So if you're wondering what mod the actual reactor comes from HBM mod. I'm using logistical, you know, transporters and things from Mechanism because I like Mechanism. Mechanism's good. 650, 604. Now, there is one other thing I forgot to mention, and that's that under this wall there is these, and they will take radiation and generate power. So, as the temperature, you know, as this thing is doing its thing, let's get out a Geiger counter and actually test the area. So, Geiger counter. We're gonna go ahead and go into this room. We're gonna go ahead and test out here. 0 radiation. I don't have it sealed, but because usually it should be, you know, generating radiation. Now let's test in the room. 0 radiation, and the reason is because of these ambient radiation generators. They are taking out energy, and they are, as you can see, converting 5 HE into 20 RF, which is wonderful. So it's roughly a 4 conversion, 1 to 4, I should say. All right, so back to this. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a spawn egg for some creepers. So, creepers, will you go ahead and be our test subject for our wonderful new machine? Also, I need to go ahead and set this to extraction mode real quick. Is it getting energy now? Does it need to be powered from the bottom? No. Does it? Oh, come on. It should work. Just stand there, Creeper. I need to test out some things. Let's go ahead and use what are they called? EU cable. Can I have cable? Just normal cable? Carbon monoxide mask attachment. Okay. Glass fiber cable. Boom. Is that gonna do things? Is that gonna do wonderful things? Can it zap? Zap? Does it? Should be outputting. Hold on. Let me go ahead and fix something. Well, I wasn't able to get it to function, you know, the whole way, but I did get it so I could fill an energy cube with it. I mean, that works, right? Right? Right, Creeper? You agree? Yes, you do. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and set up some of these on the outside just for aesthetic purposes while we wait for the energy cube to charge. I mean, I could just spawn in one, but I felt like doing it this way because it's cooler. So, energy cube is ready to go. Are my dear machines running? Or are they not running? That is the question. The question. For sure. They don't seem to really run. They don't really like to do that. Yeah. Okay, they don't actually... Why is it not outputting energy? That is so weird. So input... Oh wait, you know what it is? Output. Ah. None on that side. We'll just go none on all sides. What is going on here? Ah, okay, there we go. Now it should be outputting, so we can now use this. Oh! Zap! Oh my gosh, what are we doing? Zap. Okay. Okay. Can this one do the output as well? Or do I have to, like... Aha! You have to actually set these to induction mode output. Genius. That is epic. Okay. Now it should be getting the exact amount that it needs. So if we set up a few of these, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be some real fun. Hello, Creeper. Are you willing to be a wonderful test subject today? I think you are. So just stand right there while I set up the wonderful machine. Aha. The machine does not seem to be working today. Well, that's strange. Can we hook this up with these? Do they... What if you just stand on the machine for me? Interesting. Interesting. I'm actually kind of surprised this hasn't melted down yet. But if you're wondering what the design I am using is, and you want to recreate it for yourself, again, structural column, steam thing, and like the basic fuel rod thing. And then I'm using a MEP 239 RBMK fuel rod. Pretty easy stuff, pretty simple. It doesn't require much. You don't even need a control rod to get this thing to go and do things. I mean, I guess you don't need them in a normal reactor, but honestly, I don't like to use control rods. I don't like safety. Safety last. But, I highly recommend safety. Because this radiation, ridiculous. Bad. Not good. Not good. It's working! I had to put a lever on it. That was the trick. Okay. Let's go ahead and build a big column of those. This is gonna get really, really electric. Electrified? Electrifying? I don't know what to say about this. Boom. Boom. Zap them. Just zap them. Look how fast it zaps them! That's epic there. That is literally the greatest thing ever. Haha, I found another use for all this energy. We can use it for another type of Tesla emitter. This kind. A little interesting. Let's go ahead and punch a creeper and see. Whoa, so much cooler. Much cooler. It actually electrifies them. Yes. Good. Good. It is so great. Man. Greatest reactor ever. Alright, so now that we've seen a few things that we can do with our energy, let's go ahead and get ourselves a steel crate so I can store some things. Let's go ahead and do crate. Boom. So we're going to be storing our fuel rods in these. And let's go ahead and take a look at some different kinds of fuel rods. Alright, so I have all of the different self-igniting fuel rods, which are going to be, you know, good for this reactor. Let's go ahead and try. We've tried out the LEA and we decided it was bad, so bad goes into here. So that one causes it to melt down. This one is perfect. This one is the perfect balance, and it gets you right at the heat you need to get this thing to do its thing. So let's go ahead and try out the MEA RBMK fuel rod. So, it's heating up. It's pretty good, pretty good. Temperature's around 300, 400, and it's going up. It's not having any issues with the actual... Yeah, heat's around 700 in that one. As you can see, the radiation level might be going up. The heat is far beyond what it should actually be. So, if the actual skin of the thing gets to around... Yes, it might be melting. We're gonna pull that out. So, MEA. That's gonna go in the maybe bin. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do some HEA. So, HEA. This one is building up xenon gas. That's good. Actually, that's bad. If it hits 100, it just explodes usually. Water, going down a bit, going down. But we're getting a ton of ultra-dense steam, which means the temperature is higher than when we were running the MEA. And it seems to be slowly tapering off now, or tapering. As you can see, 30 ultra-dense steam, much, much better in total. But xenon, it's a bit higher. It's a bit higher. So, it's at 700 in this one, 610 in this one, and a total of around 815. Now, I have tried to get this to be more compact, but it usually ends up exploding because you do need the structural column. I feel like that's something you just need. So, that one's safe. HEA 241, safe. Let's go ahead and try out the LEA US rod. So, this one is low-enriched Australium. Tasmanite. Okay, let's go ahead and try that out. It doesn't seem to be producing much heat, so this one might be a cooler fuel rod. But let's go ahead and get a steel crate for cool rods, just in case. Get out of here! Get out of here! Get! Go! Okay, good. So we're gonna go ahead and seal that door off. Let's go ahead and check. 60C. That is not enough to produce any steam, so that's going in the bin of things that don't work singularly. But it is a self-igniting rod. You don't want to go in there, Creeper. You just don't want to. You don't want to. This is a reactor, and it's going to melt you. Polonium. 210BE. RBMK neutron source. Now, this is a neutron source, so again, it's going to be too cold to actually... Maybe, because it is going up to 65C, so it might be doing something. Nope. Not at all. And as you can see, no steam is coming out of the top. Also, I'm going to go ahead and seal the hatch just in case this thing just decides to... Oh, it's... Okay, I accidentally opened the hatch. Hold on, give me a second. So this one capped out at 65C, which is not good enough to sustain a reaction. Let's go ahead and try out the RA226BE. So RA226BE is another neutron source. So these are probably for breeder reactors. The Australium one, the RA, the radium, and the other one that we just tried. All of these seem to be for breeders. Now, this isn't a breeder reactor. You could set it up to be one if you wanted to. If you just switch out the middle structural column, you could probably set it up. Okay, so now we have a PU, plutonium 238BE, beryllium neutron source. So let's go ahead and do this. This one is a... Okay, I'm reading the stats on it. So heat, it produces... Oh, it's going up, it's going up. This is probably the best neutron source as far as I'm aware. Like, as far as heat goes. Now, it does have a pretty low melting point, which is not a good stat, but, you know, that's okay. Alright, so it seems to have capped, but the radiation level of it is going up. So, cool. It's a pretty cool one. That one's going in the bin of ones that don't actually run. We do have another one that doesn't produce any energy after all of these are done. So let's go ahead and check this. Okay, so flashgold is generating a ton of xenon. Roughly around, it should cap out at about 59.999 is what I'm thinking. Yes. So yeah, now it's depleting once it runs out of xenon. And as you can see, we are not producing any because the heat is only 60, but the source is actually pretty good. This one will actually go up and up, but it's a very slow, gradual increase in temperature. So we'll go ahead and wait for that to happen. So now the heat is actually enough to start doing something. It's at 250. I don't know if that's going to make super dense steam. It will make some steam once it hits around 300. So if we give it a second, it should be around 300 at any minute now. So around 300 is when you will start seeing steam get made. Now it does take a bit of steam to make a super dense steam. So it will probably need to get even hotter in order to make the steam. You could run this theoretically at a lower temperature and then have less, you know, have a setup for that. You know. But in a second we'll start seeing things come. Will you guys get out of my reactor room? There's so many of them. It's even lit up. It's spawn proofed and everything. Okay, well let's go ahead and check out what's going on with the reactor anyway. So as you can see, the heat is now at 400, and we are starting to not produce anything, because the heat isn't hot enough yet. So, this one melts at around 2000. As you can see, it is very radioactive. Very, very radioactive. We are almost at 600 degrees Celsius, I think. Maybe, is it Celsius? Tell me again. It is Celsius. Okay, 600 degrees almost. And still no steam. Oh, it is starting to make steam now. As you can see, it is slowly beating to life. Let's go ahead and check on the actual... As you can see, the towers are cooling down the steam and turning it back into water. The water is being fed into the tanks, and the tanks are feeding the water back into the reactor, which is wonderful. All of that water is actually going to... Or, all that steam goes into turbines, of course, in the other room this way. So, look at this. Got some wonderful steam. This one is slowly, you know, getting powered up. This one's not even going to be powered. Well, actually, I guess it is, kinda, but this one's doing good. What about this one? Get on my way. I did not invite all these guests into here. Oh my gosh. The temperature is continuing to rise past the 600 C mark, it seems like. Nope. It is stabilized at around 615, so this one is a safe fuel rod for the reactor design. Now, as you can see, we have determined one to be causing overheating. We've determined one to also cause overheating, right? No, we've determined... What is this one? Is this the one that was working? What is this one? These are the ones... Okay, this one caused it to melt down, so I guess it'll go into there. And then, yeah. So let's go into... test out bale fire. This is a very special one, and I'm expecting this thing to just explode, but it will not generate any xenon gas. If you give it a few seconds, it should just go all the way up to like 500. It's ridiculous. It's gonna use a lot of water, a lot of it, lots and lots of water. It uses all of the water, so I don't recommend running this one for a very long time. Because it isn't really a stable reactor when it comes to, like, superheating things. If you get it up to, like, as you can see, this is around 1000. I don't know what temperature we need to avoid. We need to avoid 3652. So if the skin temperature hits that much, then the thing explodes, is my guess. Honestly, I don't know what the temperature is, but I've had it happen where the reactor will melt down. As you can see, we're producing 101 ultra-dense steam, which is very good. Very good fuel rod. It seems to have stabilized at 1289. So yes, you can in fact run balefire RBMK rods in this reactor design. Really good. Really good. Alright, so we do have one last fuel rod. This is the Diagama RBMK fuel rod. This one doesn't produce energy, and it's probably just going to explode when I throw it into here. So as you can see, I'm a little afraid to do this one, but I have done it before, and it seems to be very stable. So we'll go ahead and, as you can see, xenon gas is going to rise to whatever level this thing caps at. This is around lead poison level. Lead poison? What? Anyway, it won't produce any actual heat. or energy for it. Yes, it doesn't actually produce heat, or actually no, maybe it does. It just produces like it does make sense. The heat it produces. As you can see, the heat is actually dropping down, but it's also rising up and doing weird things. So it's a weird fuel rod. I don't know, it just goes down. It goes down to 20 once you put it in. So we'll try it again. Throw it in there. As you can see, the heat is just down to 20. Skin entropy, what? So yes, I would not recommend using this one. It also says self-combusting. Self-combusting. That does not sound fun. It does not sound like a fun fuel rod, so that probably is not the safest idea to use that, but you could use that if you wanted to. I feel like balefire is fun, though. I like this one. Just watch it. It produces no xenon, just goes all the way up to the max heat. Just, you know, it's running this thing really good. That's perfect. Now, before we go, I wanted to share one last thing. And I don't remember what that last thing was, but I felt like sharing it. Give me a second, and I will show you this last thing. I just now remembered. Okay, so before we go, I have one last item to show off today, and that is the Diagama Instant Meltdown Replicator. What a wonderful creation. So let's go ahead and get our RBMK fuel rod thing. So let's go ahead and set this up. So basically, this guy, if you put him in your reactor, he will melt it down. For free, instantly. You don't even, you just gotta throw him into here. He will, if we go ahead and put another fuel rod next to it. Let's go ahead and throw this into here. As you can see, radiation levels are actually increasing on, it's unfortunate, but, yeah. Wonderful. So yeah, things melt down. It's all fun. One of the very bad things that's really annoying to deal with is this stuff. This is corium, or, you know, it's only been produced a few times in the world, like maybe 1 or 2 times. Anyway, this stuff is really annoying, and what you do is you just throw water buckets on it. That's what I recommend. So if you ever have your reactor meltdown, just throw those on it. As you can see, it will melt through blocks. Any block that isn't concrete or tungsten flooring is I think, or deco blocks, decoration blocks, of course. As you can see, it will melt through the ground, and it will ruin your day. Because this stuff is radioactive. So if we get out our Geiger counter, real quick, we'll get out a handheld one. It's going off, it's buzzing. The radiation in the chunk is 63.2. Usually you'll start seeing these clouds at around 100. So yeah, not a fun thing, not a very fun thing. And as you can see over here, if I get rid of this thing, our Geiger counter in here is going off, but the energy production is going to be going up to, you know, 21-ish. Now, there's another thing that's going on here, and this creeper. This creeper is a nuclear creeper. He's in a radioactive dead zone, right? So, as you can see, all the mobs here are now irradiated, but the creepers have become nuclear creepers, so they will now blow up and ruin your day. Just absolutely ruin it. So, fun mod, HBM mod. That was just a quick look at the RBMK. I think tomorrow I'll cover, like, you know, maybe the fusion reactor. That'll be fun. As you can see, there's just mobs dying everywhere from radiation poisoning. Okay. Well, so, if you've enjoyed this little showcase thing real quick, yeah, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that good YouTube things. I feel like I just might have broke a block. Okay, yeah, it didn't cause any issues. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that, though, because it's gonna bother me later on. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave them down below. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye. Also, I just now realized that the reason I was having the Geiger counter go off constantly was because I had a balefire fuel rod in my inventory. Still, really cool mod. Recommend it. Highly recommend it. And this is the 1.12 version for those who are interested.